Hello everyone, Minute Plus Meditation here, and it is Tuesday, March the 4th, and it's the Feast of St. Casimir. We continue with the book of Sirach, but we are kind of jumping through it, right? Chapter 17 yesterday, chapter 35 today. There's a lot in the book of Sirach. Okay, it's like a big pond, and there's so much beauty and wealth and wisdom in it. The one who keeps the law makes many offerings. One who heeds the commandments makes an offering of well-being. The one who returns a kindness offers choice flour. The one who gives alms makes a thank offering. To keep from wickedness is pleasing to the Lord, and to forsake unrighteousness is atonement. I'm going through the paragraphs. Be generous when you worship the Lord, and do not stint the first fruits of your hands. Isn't that something that's ever relevant, to each generation, and in fact, each person? Be generous when you worship, and do not stint the first fruits of your hands. We should be generous with God because God is super abundantly generous with us. So in other words, don't be cheap with God. And that means your time, it means your gift set, your talents, and it means your treasure as well. I'm not, some are embarrassed to mention that. I am not. I give, and I try to encourage others to give accordingly. Everybody's got different demands on them, but God should be first, the best and first, not when everything else is done. Because usually we just factor God in. Well, when I've done everything I need to do, then I'll give a little bit to God. I'll make myself feel good. No, we give first to God, and then we take care of everything else. And we may find actually that we shouldn't be doing some of those everything else that we're doing. All these expensive packages, buying certain things, all these, going into debt where we shouldn't be. If God is first, He will teach us how to manage these areas in our life. But we keep Him last, and we wind up being quite pusillanimous. Go look that word up, pusillanimous. That's what we can be very pusillanimous, or we can be magnanimous. For the Lord is the one who repays, and He will repay you sevenfold. God can never be outdone in generosity. That's something we always need to remember. We think we can be generous. We have no idea. God has given us life. Just because our parents did what they did doesn't mean we had to be born, right? God had to infuse the soul into conception. God had to will us into existence. Positively will us from all eternity into existence. So it starts from there. Then it's everything else. There's so much to be grateful for. Sometimes we think, we're doing God a favor by being so generous. No, we aren't. We're giving back just a little bit of what we actually owe Him. When in fact, we can never owe Him, or we can never give back everything we owe Him. But we can do our best. We can give Him the first and the best. Okay, to Mark chapter 10, the gospel, Peter began to say, kind of picking up from yesterday's gospel, look, we have left everything and followed you. And Jesus didn't say, Peter, you should be more spiritual than that. You shouldn't look for rewards. That's not of the highest order. That's not what Jesus says. He says, He actually picks it up and takes off with it. Jesus says, truly, I tell you, there is no one who has left house or brothers or sister or mother or father or children or fields for my sake and for the sake of the good news, who will not receive 100-fold now in this age. Same thing, houses, brothers, sisters, mothers, children, and so on, and in the age to come, eternal life. But many who are first will be last, and the last will be first. So, first of all, God He's more merit-based than anything else. God is not adverse to us saying to Him, what's in it for me? Peter did. He didn't say, Peter, you shouldn't be talking that way. That's really mundane. That's really crass. He didn't say that because Peter had a big heart, but he wanted to know what was in it for him. God and Jesus told him what was in it for him, right? It doesn't mean we won't have doubts when Jesus says, you'll get all this. We still have doubts because of human weakness and fears, but still we should say, Lord, what's in it for me? And not in a selfish way, but in a legitimate way. There's nothing wrong with having that conversation with the Lord. And Jesus will say, I will take care of you. I will bless you. I will anoint your generosity towards me and towards those around me. And God is a God, I would say, of reasonableness. He doesn't want you to sell your entire house and give it away. You don't have nowhere to live. But But I mean, this is a whole discussion that can go on for 40 minutes. But, God will always bless our generosity. Always. God bless you.